Way.
Do you like that, Spice?
Yes, love the intro. Oh my God.
That was
I
clean.
want to say
That was clean.
it was nice, wasn't it? Thanks to Talk MU for that one. Thanks for Talk MU for that one. Want to say as well, before we start the show as well, big happy birthday to Ivorian Spice right now.
Yes.
Who wants, mate? I would sing Stevie Wonder, mate. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday.
Don't want to hear my singing voice, lads, man.
How is everybody doing? Talk MU. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm out in the wilds at the moment, camping, so it's all good.
Good. Spice, your birthday as well, mate. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, man. I woke up in a good mood. You know, Ronaldo broke record. We signed Ronaldo. You know, it's been the best. It's been the best transfer. It's the best present I've gotten so far. You know, from Manchester United. It's one of the best.
Right by your birthday as well, and the fact that you scored 2 goals last night as well is brilliant, right?
Yeah, it's so brilliant, man. But I'm feeling good. You know, have had a couple of drinks. So, guys, do excuse my behavior. You know, I might get a bit wild. Not Larry, but wild, you know. But excuse me, I am on the moat, so I can just rejuvenate myself for you guys.
We're on that wagon with you there. And Free in the Middle is here with us as well. Big up yourself, Free in the Middle. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. Remixing my name. It's free midfield, but you know, I'm gonna have that. Feel like I'm free midfield with Malcolm in the middle. I can have that.
Yeah,
Malcolm in the middle. I'm only trying to shout out your social media, mate, as well. Like so everyone knows, Free in the Middle. Go check it out. So look, guys, like Spice said as well, great transfer window for Man United this summer. Probably one of the best we've seen in a very long time. And the topic pretty much today is, where does Ronaldo fit in Oles' puzzle? Of course, I think a striker is probably best, but he can play pretty much anywhere, I think, this guy. You know what I mean? With how he scored 2 goals last night to beat Ireland 2-1 when they were 1-0 down by the 88th minute, and he scored both headers. Influential. I mean, I'm just so amazed about how that went. Spice, mate, start off with the birthday boy. How do you think he's going to be fitting in to the Man United starting 11 next season?
Do you know? I first of all would think that he'll be playing up front as a striker. You know, I don't really see him playing on the wing. You know, the old man cliche is, has he got the legs for the wing? I don't think it does. But yeah, I think he can still do a job there when we need him. That's the great thing about having Ronaldo. You have a player that's versatile, that can play up front, that can play on the left or on the right, and, you know, accommodate as well when we have injuries. So I definitely think he will be our main vocal point, playing up front. He's an exceptional in the air. He's an exceptional target man as well. He's high in his athleticism as well. So definitely up front. There is no other positions I can see him play, because we've got the likes of Mason Greenwood, we've got the pace of Marcus Rashford as well, and we've got Martial as well, and who else? Jadon Sancho. I only see him competing up front with, I don't know if it's going to be competing up front with Cavani, if there's really a competition. But yeah, he will be mainly playing up front to be the actual, you know, star, and of course with his supporting art. So yeah, definitely striker for Ronaldo. I don't see anything else.
No, I don't. I mean, I hear fans saying and not realising that he has changed positions since he was at Real Madrid or Man United. He used to play on the wing, used to run through players. I think people forget that he's not that sort of player anymore. What do you make of it, Talk?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's quite obvious it's going to be the striking position, but I do think as well that he can actually drift to the right and he can drift to the left on that front line.
You hear those seagulls, mate?
Yeah, there's a big flock of them right over there. But yeah, I can imagine him, you know, just to open things up when they park the bus on us. I can just see him drifting from left to right and having Mason Mason comes inside, Ronaldo drift out a little bit. He's got the legs to do that. We're not asking him to bomb up and down the wing. You know, that's not what we want him to do. But to cause a nuisance from all of them, you know, whether it be Martial or Rashford on one side, or even Jadon Sancho, you know, switching it up there between them three, it's going to be a real problem for teams to cope with and deal with, because, you know, they're going to get dragged about all over the shop. And if they try and keep their shape, that may even well help us, because we can get through the lines then. You know, if they're not going to go where the danger's going, then they're going to make it a little bit easy for us. But even if they do go where the danger is going, again, you've got the likes of Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, Sancho, even the midfielders, you know, having options. So, and again, we all know what the problem for us is going to be. Well, we say it's going to be, we just don't know. But I want to say something as well, is the racial abuse towards our players is just absolutely abhorrent and disgusting. And if any of these players support fans, Man United fans, just, you know what, whoever they are, they need outing. People know who these people are. They need to be outed. They need to be named and shamed. I'm not going to swear, but they need to be named and shamed. That's what I'm going to say on that one. But
they do. I agree.
Yeah.
And the fact is, I think there's an ongoing thing, isn't there, about how UEFA are dealing with that. I mean, you see Hungary tonight. It's tonight, isn't it? So they're meant to be sanctioned at the moment because of the Euro 2020s and the fact that their fans were abusing people racially, which is completely wrong. But then they haven't done anything about it, so they're letting all them fans that were doing that back in. So they need to do much more about it, I think, in football. They're not doing enough about it. Kojo, what do you make of like Ronaldo's position as well, and what was talking there about all these terrible United fans? Not all, it's not everybody, but just some fans that are ruining it for other people. But I mean, yeah, Ronaldo first.
Ronaldo first, definitely. Firstly, I think he's a striker all day long, and he'll be our most potent striker in the air, movement, striking the ball from distance, inside the box. It's between him and Cavani for me. I've not been convinced by Martial, so those two are my main strikers. Greenwood's still a young guy, and he's shown potency up front already this season. I think we classed him as our best finisher. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that anyway, a couple of years back. So you know the guy's got massive talent, but this is perfect for him. He's got two of the most experienced and crazy goal scorers in front of him to learn from. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. I'd have to really go into detail about Ronaldo. Everyone knows who he is. Cavani, even when he was at PSG, playing on the right wing as Ibrahimovic plays as the striker, was still scoring 30 to 40 goals in a year. So as soon as he took that striker spot, he continued his goal scoring streak and became PSG's all-time top goal scorer. That's the caliber of talent he has in front. Ronaldo as a striker for me, definitely. He tends to still drift out on the wings when he plays for Portugal. He did for Juventus. He still gets in the link up of the play. So United fans that love sort of the hold-up style and all that, he can cater towards that. If he wanted to make runs behind, which someone like Pogba would love, because Pogba's always looking for passes forward, whether he's playing deep or playing in front. He's looking for someone to make that running behind. Ronaldo's always looking for goals. He sniffs goals, same thing as Cavani. So that's why I think it will work. So Ronaldo's a striker to get the best out of him. You got Sancho there now. You got Pogba. You got Bruno to create. You got Luke Shaw, who's improved going forward as a fullback. Wan-Bissaka, I'm still a bit 50-50. So if I'm being honest, in games where, and I know United fans don't like this, but in games where I feel like we should dominate the opposition, there's nothing wrong with playing Diogo Dalot. He's much better going forward than Wan-Bissaka. You can take a chance on that. Get the guys going forward, create more chances going forward, and have more balance on both sides. And as for the racial abuse, look, for me, it's as simple as this. I don't call those people fans. I call them idiots, world-class idiots. That's what they are to me. I don't class them as Man United fans. Every fan base has its racists, has its idiots. I don't think about those people as fans, because if I say they're fans, that means I'm putting them in the same category as me as a United fan. They're not a fan of me, of United, sorry. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't associate with them, and they don't associate with Man United. They don't represent what Man United are, because some of our greatest players are all of many different races. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
You can go from Ronaldo of Portugal, Dwight York and Nico up front. You can go from Teddy Sheringham, David Beckham. You can go, you know how it goes. So, yeah, I'm not even considering them. When I see those things, for me, social media, I block them even if it's not interacting with me, as soon as I see some nonsense, they're blocked, they're removed, they're reported out of my life.
Perfectly said, right, Spice? I mean, you didn't say much about that either. I mean, if you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome. I mean, these fans today, like the way they're going at players just because of their skin color. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's not what the game's about. That's not what life should be about. But I mean, what do you make of these people? That I mean, that they're irrelevant to what we really signify as fans, right?
They keep forgetting the name Manchester United as well. The word United means unity, you know, as one, you know, with love as well, you know, and care for one another as well. That word United, and they're not united at all. They're not real Manchester United, but they're not real football lovers because football doesn't have any skin color, you know.
Yeah,
football it's only a ball that we follow in terms of the ball going to the back of the net. So they're just sad people, man, and they're sick as well. And the fact that the UEFA, FIFA, they don't really do much in terms of sanctions, you know, in terms of making people feel. Even the government themselves don't really do much at all to stop these things. And it's become a norm, even for a black person, a black player. It's become normal to us, you know, a way of life. You know, it's like, yeah, I got racial abuse, fine. You know, you might well say, no, Ivorian Spice, it's not fine, but I'm gonna be I know, man, it's not fine, but it is what it is, and nothing's going to happen. But you know what? Sometimes I always say to myself, the way to deal with these things is to actually those who are at the higher level put those like people like, let's say, a black person like me or an Asian person in those people that make the decision, punish them in a way where it really hurts. And one of the ways I would punish them is by hurting them in the pockets. You racially abuse someone, you get caught and you get charged with it, you would have to fund and sponsor like someone from Africa, someone from India, someone from somewhere. For the rest of your life, half your money goes to that. And then you'll think twice when you want to say the N-word, because you're going to think twice like, if I say this is going to affect my pockets. Is this really worth it?
Yeah.
So yeah. It is what it is, man. It hurts as a black man and everyone from different kind of races, what Asians, Mexican, Latino, that this is way of life. Like nothing will ever change. It's been like this for years upon years. So it is what it is, man.
I guess with the players, like the way they handle it and respond to it is showing them their worth on the field. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the only way you can prove to these fans that what you're saying is completely irrelevant and wrong and outdated is by showing them how skillful and great you are. And I like to see that from players from all ethnicities, and I think it really does help, you know what I mean, to show that look, everybody can have the same ability. It doesn't matter where you're from or what skin color you are, it's we're united, aren't we? Manchester United should be a united club, and there should be none of that stuff happening. But we've also gone off the topic of Ronaldo, but I think it's very important. Thank you, Talk, for bringing it up as well. So yeah, you guys happy with seeing? Start with you, Kojo. Then on that one, Ronaldo last night, 2 goals at the end of the game against Ireland, 2 headers. You know what I mean? He looks. I mean, people are saying like, what is Man United getting? And then you see that last night, and you're like, a goal scorer, a proven goal scorer. And people are saying as well that he won't get the levels of Harry Kane or who else is always up there? Vardy, etc., etc. Do you think he will get at least 20 goals in the Premier League?
Yeah, without sounding disrespectful to certain players, if someone like Timmy Pukki can come and get 12 goals in his first season, I'm not even going to hear about Ronaldo not getting more than 20. The thing for me is, when people ask the question, what are United getting with Ronaldo? Firstly, for me, that's a stupid question. They shouldn't ask that question. Number 2, they're trying to do this thing about he's 36, he's not the same player. If they feel like they're going to get the guy that's running down the wing, we know that Ronaldo's come and gone. We know that, but yesterday was literally a demonstration of what he brings, because Man United used to be, under Alex Ferguson anyway, used to be known for those late winners, for winning the game out of nowhere. You can score about 3 goals in 5 minutes, and then suddenly it's like, oh, what are United doing? How have they done this? That's what he brings. It's that extra mentality. Ronaldo's always in the box. He's saying, find me. Even that cross yesterday that João Mario cross put in for the winner, it wasn't the best of crosses. and he's had to run back, and the power he's put on that header is not an easy thing to do. And he's put into the back of the net. That's what we've got, a match winner. And we need more match winners. I think we've got the quality of match winners in the squad, but we haven't shown it enough in those moments where you need a late winner. Enough times anyway. I can't speak highly enough of what this guy brings to United. I know United fans are frustrated about we needed a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder, depending on what you want. And I get that, because I was frustrated that Sal went to Chelsea for 5 million on loan with the potential to buy next summer. I was frustrated by that. But then I realized, but the caliber of talent you're getting right now, you don't get that in every window. When Ronaldo's available, you have to do your utmost to get Cristiano Ronaldo. And he was available. So, he used to play for the club as well, so we've got leverage in that. Why not bring him back? That's a goal winner. That's a goal getter. That's a goal scorer. That's a winner. I have no complaints, man. The guy's going to win us games. And you're going to see it from Newcastle. Trust me, he's going to win the game against Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have Ibrahimovic come in. You have Cavani come in. Of course, you would take Ronaldo at 36 if you're taking these players at 35, 36 as well. So, I mean, what do you make of it as well? Like, are you agreeing on that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's a heart and heart. He's not just a goal scorer. He's just a real threat and a worry for teams as well. And what he brings to the rest of the players in the team, he's going to raise the bar massively. And if these players want to do well, then they're going to have to raise their game as well. So it's a win-win all around. I mean, like you say, you just got to look at Van Persie, Henrik Larsson as well when he came in. He won't be the last player that we bring in who's ready for retiring, but we come out and we get a really good last season or even two out of them, and it helps us win something major. And I agree with I think it was Jay Motti who was saying about it. He could actually see us going on and winning the Champions League this season. More chances of us winning the Champions League rather than the league. And do you know what? I have to agree with him, because the league is going to be. We've got these 38 games, and if we get found out in the middle of the park and we can't get the balance right, then going into these one-off games in the Champions League with the threats that we've got in that team, you know what? Why not? It can happen. We can actually go on and do that. But I just hope Ollie can figure out this puzzle in the middle of the park, and if he gives Fred another go at it, and Fred starts to pick up the game, then great. You know what? That's he's earned his place. But if he can't do it, then Ollie either has to. If Scotty Mack's fit, put Scotty Mack in. But if he's not, he's got to, for me, either Garner or young Galbraith. If you have to recall him from loan and get him in, give him a shot. You've got to give him a shot.
What do you make about that, Spice? What Talk said there, like bringing in some loan players if it doesn't work out? Can we will talk about Donny Van De Beek in a few minutes, but I mean, do you think there's something we can do with that CDM place? The fact that we didn't buy anybody and Chelsea got Sal Niguez for a $5 million loan deal and with the intentions to buy in the summer. Do you think that's a loss, or do you think we can work something out there and maybe use someone to help us possibly win the league?
I was saying this the other day. Even though we haven't signed a central defensive midfield, doesn't mean all is lost, because we managed to survive last season without a quality holding midfielder. We managed to finish second with the famous McFred, and also called third place this following season, and I managed to get to a final. So sometimes I've said this, sometimes you don't really need that player to actually take you there. It's all about the manager, whether he can find a solution sometimes, because sometimes you have to base your faith on the manager's ability to find a solution in this kind of situation. The manager should be good enough to find a way out of this situation. Maybe like Tukem said, getting someone like a James Garner in that can play that position, or just trying to find the best partnership in that double pivot, whether it's Van de Beek and Matic, or Fred and Matic, or Fred or Van de Beek, or McTominay and whatever he can do, or with Pogba inside it, I don't know, but it's about the manager, whether he can find a solution. And if he does, because I believe we're good enough to survive another season of this McFred and get as far as we can, because look at the quality that we have right now with Varane as well. Varane playing as a centre-back with his pace, with his experience, will be able to help us defensively, especially in coordinating as well and leading the back line with Maguire as well, because they both can do an exceptional job at that and probably help people like Aaron Wan-Bissaka become more better defensively as well. I'm sure you guys saw the clips of that, of Bruno educating Sancho where he should go in terms of when we have the ball, and with Varane telling Wan-Bissaka to be focused on whatever he's trying to do, because I just saw Varane just do this focus sign a lot of time, this and that. So yeah, I feel like that can help us as well with Varane, especially in the midfield. And if again, we'll say again that we've seen Manchester United a hole in a polo. I always say this before, Manchester United are used to getting fingered because that is quite easy to do, man. A lot of people just go through us just like that. But yeah, I believe in our coach. Not 100%, but I believe that Oli can find a solution and we can survive. And if January comes, if we have funds, sign a holding midfielder, but we can get by. We can get by, guys.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Kojo. You think in the same thing? We could get by. We can use players that might not specifically be that position, but they can learn the role and learn from others that we've brought in, especially with Varane at the back as well, a strong centre back. You know what I mean? Who's won a lot of things and has the experience. Do you think that we can work around that? You're muted.
Coach, your coach, you're mute.
Sorry, there we go. The one thing that worries me about footballers today at times is a lot of them don't know how to learn another role. Like they learn one specific role and that's it. That's their limit. Especially especially defenders, because there are a lot of centre backs who don't know how to play in a 2 but only in a 3. They lose that one defender and suddenly it's, oh my God, what do I do? I'm in panic mode. That scares me because I look at Fred, for example, and I look at McTominay, and I know they're always singled out by United fans. I'm not trying to single them out per se, but what it is we've been trying to get them to be like a sort of defensive duo for a while in that midfield pairing. So you'd hope that they would have at some point learned within the last 2 or 3 years how to be competent enough to be a defensive midfielder. They don't have that. They don't have that discipline. It looks like they haven't learned how to be positional discipline. They haven't learned that. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It looks like they've struggled to do that, and that's what scares me. So Varane, I trust in Varane. I trust in Maguire. I trust in Bruno Fernandes. I trust in Paul Pogba. Excuse my creaky door.
That was really good. We got new signing.
I trust in so many of the players going forward as well, bar 1 or 2. But the midfield is so key. It's so key. You cannot lose battles in there. And it's worrying that to this day, the one person we still rely upon to be an actual solid defensive midfielder is Matic, but he ain't got the legs for it no more. So if we are going to get the best of what or work around what we've got, that's now where Ole now needs to come in, and he needs to really find the right system and the right strong lineup. Even if it's not our supposed best players, if it's the team that gets the most effective results, I don't care. Do it. I really couldn't care less. So if it means Ronaldo up front and you think Bruno doesn't complement him, so you want to put Pogba there, do it. I don't care if you want to bring Mata from the dead and put Mata there. If Mata's the one that works with Pogba best, put Mata there. I don't care. If we win, as United fans, we're excited. If United players win, if they play 10 league games instead of 38, as soon as they get that medal around their neck and they show their armpits, they forget about the pain of the whole season. So as far as I'm concerned, if we can just find the right system to work with, I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Which is a really good segue as well, which I'll ask you talk about Donny Van De Beek and the fact that Everton were in for Donny Van De Beek. I think it was to Everton, wasn't it? But Man United held out. So talk. What do you think? Like, do you think he plays an important role this season? I actually heard his agent on TalkSport this morning saying about the situation with him not being played, and his agent even said you got to play for your place. It's not down to the club to give you the right to be in the starting 11. It's down to you. And Donny Van De Beek's actually agreed on that. So he seems quite happy the fact that he's got to work harder to get his place. Would you make of that?
Oh well, that's how it goes. That's how it works. Especially at Man United, you know, you got to show the willing. You've got to show the enthusiasm in training, and that you can actually take on board what people are asking you to do, etc. And I think he will get his chance. There's no doubt about that. And I think this is a bit of a kind of admission that Donny is happy to fight for his place. To be fair, from him and his agent, that's why he's saying this. This is why he's making it clear for us as the fans and the rest of the football world. That, look, don't everybody be saying how can Donny be happy? He is happy. Is that the best club for him? Is that the best club for his growth and his ongoing improvement? So you know, there's no big problem, no big deal on that front. So for me, he will get his chance. He's going to get his chance, and I just hope for him, for his sake, you know, that he does, you know, he does well when he does get his opportunities. And I should imagine the more he does well, the more opportunities that he will get. It's pretty straightforward, really. You can't, you can't single players out at a big club like that. You don't single players out and mollycoddle them and wrap them up in cotton wool. You know, this is like you're like. Sometimes it can be the loneliest place to be when you're fighting for your spot, because you know what? Yeah, you're all mates and all the rest of it in the team, but you're there to play in that team. You know, you get advice and all the rest of it, but you can be a lonely place when you're trying to fight for your spot. So if he's got the as they say, minerals to fight for his space, then we'll see.
Well, I mean, you know, he's 6-year contract as well, so it's a very long time. It seems that the club wanted him to stay for quite a long time if you give him a 6-year contract. Spice, I mean, do you think it was wise to give him a 6-year contract, or like I'm saying, do you think that they've got something in line for him in the future? There might be a Pogba going next season, so bring Van De Beek in, maybe take his spot for a little bit, see if it works. I mean, what do you make of Van De Beek at Man United?
No, well, with the 6 years of the contract that they gave him, that's down to the club. That's how long they see, like, that's what they value the player. After they feel like they want to offer the player 6 years contract because they see him for 6 years and worth it. With Van De Beek, I'm starting to believe, you know, I'm starting to see this. You know, maybe we all have a misunderstanding of the situation because Ole himself doesn't really want to tell everyone what the situation is. I look at Van De Beek last season, I saw some good quality things, but then again, I saw him losing the ball quite easily and getting nudged off the ball. So I felt like Ole was trying to make him sit on the bench to observe the Premier League itself and see how the game flows, when to turn, when to do half turn, when to pass the ball, when to make certain plays and make certain runs. And that's what I saw towards the end of the season, where Donny Van De Beek was involved towards the end of the season. And he looked like, okay, he's starting to grasp the Premier League. As I can see him, he was giving players half turns, leaving them for dead and passing the ball, opening up plays. So he's more involved. Even this season now, he's bulked up. So he's understood that I need to bulk up and become much stronger. And because everyone here is quick and fast, he's starting to see that. So I thought last season was more of an educating season for him. Even though he has the qualities to do it, and he should have had a lot of game time, maybe Ole himself is just trying to usher him really slowly. This season, Ole has said he will be heavily involved. And you're right, at a Premier League club, just like Talk MU says, you have to fight for Manchester United, playing for Manchester United, you have to fight for your position. Nothing comes easy at top elite clubs, you know. You will always have to fight for your place, you know. You have to fight for your starting position. It doesn't get handed to you. So I can moan, you can moan that he should be starting X, Y, and Z, but again, we're not on the training pitch. We're not seeing what they're seeing. So yeah, I feel it for Van De Beek, and I'm with him. But as a professional, even in my own profession, I know that I always have to be the best that I can be. I can't expect everyone to sugarcoat me. I can't expect silver spoon. It is like that in life, man. But Donny Van De Beek does deserve more team choices.
He does, and I think that's the thing as well, Kojo. If I can go on to you as well about that, is he realizes that this is a bigger club than Ajax. No disrespect to Ajax, they have a great history. They bring up a lot of great talent. They've won a lot of European trophies as well, and it was quite a big move for him to leave such an institution to come to a club like Man United, which does bring in a lot of talent and brings in a lot of players that are on the Bucks. I mean, do you agree with Spice there as well, and what he was saying, the fact that you got to give it time if you really want to break the starting 11?
It's a bit of a difficult one because us as fans have not been convinced by a lot of our midfielders. So when we see that there's someone that is talented, and bear in mind, I will say that in his performances so far, they have averaged maybe a 6 out of 10. There's nothing been too spectacular, but there's nothing that's been too poor. But we can also sit there and say that as a fan base, as a whole fan base, we've been very divided on Fred and McTominay. And if one of them's not performing, why is it not enough for him to start? Like, for example, against Wolves, people asking me straight away, because I was watching with a lot of friends, the United game, and they were saying to me, McTominay's injured, so that Fred and McTominay partnership is done, for now anyway. Why is Pogba, who's got 5 assists, playing on the left wing in the last 3 games, or last 2 games before that game, now back in his position where he has struggled next to Fred and McTominay in the past, and he's now we've got I think Sancho on the left and Daniel James back on the right. Knowing that Daniel James, and finding out that Daniel James was going to get sold, it's kind of frustrating to that as well. But you've moved him away from that position where he was thriving. Why not put Donny Van De Beek in that midfield? Because if he's going to get a chance, if he's going to show you what he's made of, whether he's going to be up for the cut or not, you got to give him opportunities. There's no point saying he's going to play these games or be heavily involved. And then heavily involved can be one of 2 things. As a Man United player, you want your role to be Premier League and Champions League, and then FA Cup as well. You don't want it to be Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and then Premier League off the bench, because you're not making a strong impact in the major competitions to prove that you are a key cog in Man United's machine. So when the news of Everton came through, I was kind of thinking let him go on that loan deal because he's playing for a Premier League club, he's playing for a good manager, and he's playing at a level where you can say, okay, let's see what you're made of. Because United are not afraid to sign players from Everton. We've seen that. We've got history. So if he goes there and he does well, there's no shame in bringing him back and saying, you know what, you outperformed this guy and this guy in our midfield. Here you go. But you decided to keep him. So now you got to give him this game time. Wolves not starting is a worry for me. Now, McTominay is not going to be back for Newcastle. If I'm being honest, and without trying to sound too disrespectful to Newcastle, but they're not of the level where we shouldn't struggle against them at Old Trafford. I don't want another situation where under Mourinho or 1-0 or 2-0 down for a bit, we struggle to win the game 3-2. I want a dominant performance. Yeah, so start him. I genuinely think you should start him against Newcastle, because if you don't start him against Newcastle and McTominay comes back to fitness, we're not seeing Donny Van De Beek start games. That's just how it is for me. So, and he's not starting number 10 ahead of Bruno Fernandes. He's untouchable. So, yeah, I think it would have been good for him to make the loan, but at the same time, for depth purposes, we got to keep someone like that in the club. And I think he needs to start starting some games, because if we're going to see what he's truly made of at Man United, if we don't play him again, if we play him as much as we did last year, this season, and then he leaves, it ain't going to be he wasn't good enough for Man United. It's going to be what could have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want to say whether he's good enough or not, and then that's it. I don't want to say he's not good enough. So like Forlan struggled. So you recognize he wasn't good enough, but we still knew there was quality in there. Maybe he just wasn't made up for Man United. Went to Villarreal, scored bundles of goals there, and that's perfect. And he went to Atletico Madrid, did the same thing, no problem. Sometimes it doesn't work out United all the time. Same for Veron. Veron was a quality player in Italy. Came to Man United, struggled. Went to Chelsea, struggled. Went back to Italy, shone again. No problem. You're just not made up for Man United. You're not made up for the Premier League. It's no big deal. But give the guy a chance. Just give him a chance.
It's kind of like Falcao, isn't it? The way he came to Man United, then went to Chelsea, didn't do very well, went back to Monaco and smashed it again.
Absolutely.
I don't know why that happens, but maybe some players feel better in certain clubs, and that might be the case. Talk MU, mate. What do you think, mate? I mean, would you put would you put Van De Beek ahead of Lingard as someone that you'd rather have on the bench or in the squad? Right, or would you?
Well, I don't. I mean, listen. The thing is with Lingard, he's done. He's had some really great games for Man United. He understands how the system and everything else. And also, he went to West Ham in the Premier League and shone there. So, you know what? There's an argument for Lingard to go in ahead of him. However, if Lingard isn't like part of the long-term future, then obviously for me, you've got to give Donny the chance to prove himself. That's the key. This is the thing we've got, the problem with, as Man United fans, we've got with him. It's like, okay, is he either not doing it in training, he's not responding to what he's being asked, or it's just a simple case of, like I said before, listen, you just got to wait. Keep doing what you're doing, but just wait for your moment. And when he gets his moment, he's got to shine. And I think we just got to wait and see on that front. But I do believe he's going to have a big part to play in our season going forward, especially this season right now, because Ollie needs to lift some kind of silverware this season and all that. Like.
What would you make of this comment here as well from Big Up Errol Solo? Fred 10-10 so far. I don't agree with that. I think
that laugh you face at the end story.
The way he tumbled over that player against Wolves, you know what I mean? Like when he fell to the ground, like it was like being defeated, like having your head.
You know why that was? The thing with that was he almost like assisted. He almost assisted their goal. So he knew he'd messed up. So in his attempts to try and get back, it was all wrong. His position was all wrong to begin with. His body shape was all wrong, you know. And he's just not used. He's not suited to that role. It's just not.
Spice.
Let me just unmute myself. Yeah, with Fred, you know, it's an interesting one. With that comment, 10 out of 10, I know he's just having a laugh with us right now. He really doesn't think Fred's having a 10 out of 10 season so far. Fred, I just don't know. It's like, I don't think Fred has been drilled in trying to hold. Even the games that we've seen before in the past, even when he plays with Paul Pogba, it seems to me that he doesn't choose to sit back or play the same role. Even with Scott McTominay, none of them decide to be like, you know what? I'm going to sit back and you're going to go forward. It's like they both want to go forward. Even with Fred, as well, when he knows he's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be disciplined and be the player that plays in holding, especially with Pogba. I see Pogba hold. And I'm asking myself a question: why is Pogba deeper than Fred? Fred has had a stinker so far, but he's also a player that's been key in certain games for us in the past. And I'm not going to let sentiment overjudge my judgment on Fred so far, because I'm not about sentiment anymore. I want Manchester United to be elite, and sentiment needs to come out of this situation. You know, you can only show sentiment when you're at the top, but when you're trying to reach the top, you know. It's ruthless aggression, like John Cena always says. Ruthless aggression. Get me?
You use that.
I like that.
Fred, man, I really hope that he gets the grip. And I don't know if you can coach certain players. You can't coach them in a certain position, you know. But I do believe you can still learn and become better at that position. I just hope he improves. I really do. I want Fred to be what he can be, because people are even questioning his nationality. I don't think he knows that. People are questioning his nationality.
People are saying that he's Brazilian. As in he cannot be Brazilian because, you know,
that first touch is a problem.
Think he's from Iceland? I mean, he's got to be Brazilian by the. I mean, look, he's very good, low sense of gravity, hasn't he? But he's not CDM. He's not quick on the ball. He's good at getting around players.
Gets into trouble as well. His first touch is a problem.
Yeah,
and that's un-Brazilian-like, you know.
It is un-Brazilian-like. It is un-Brazilian-like, dude. The thing is, he's 28, man. So how long do we wait for someone to improve before we say it's enough? He's 28 years old. He ain't 22 saying, okay, maybe, you know what, he'll get to his prime years and all that. He's 28 years old. We can't wait for people that are 28 years old that are, you know, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 players. We need solid 7s.
Yeah, Kojo. We're not Arsenal. We're not waiting for Bentner.
Arsenal get excited over 3 out of 10 players, man. So, you know, You're giving them too much credit for doing 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
Talk. What are you saying about that? We already asked him, didn't you?
Sorry, what I missed out that little last bit you were talking about. Sorry.
Just saying, giving him time and not rushing. I mean, Fred, like everyone says, like he's from a different country and he doesn't play like a Brazilian. But I mean, for international games for Brazil, he played in the Copa America final. He was apparently one of the most outstanding players in the Copa America this year. Apparently, I didn't see much of it.
Don't believe the rumors, bro.
Look, it's a thing. Listen, when you're a forward player of any kind, whether it be midfield or attacking, then it's a totally different thing if you're asked then to be at the back, in that kind of more defensive role, because it's not the same thing. And some players can do it, some players can't. You're either built for it or you're not. And I just don't think Fred is cut out for that kind of that work, because I don't think he's got the patience to sort of sit and read the game and anticipate. I think he always wants to be on the move, because his natural ingredients, shall we say, is to be going forward with the ball. Like when we bought him from, was it Shakhtar? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we bought him from Shakhtar. You look at him there. If that's what you are as a footballer and what you've always done, and it's in your DNA, that's what you are. So trying to change that, sometimes it can work, but sometimes it just can't. So, you know what? Like I say, as well, I don't question Fred's nationality and all that nonsense. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? He's a good player. Listen, he's a good player, but I just don't think he's cut out for Man United, especially not right at this moment in time. I just don't think.
It's weird, though, isn't it? Because I mean, look, he ran Man City ragged in the Champions League, and they were looking to get him. Pep was looking to get him. We bought him for what was it, 50 million?
Yeah.
Spice. I mean, we beat Man City to get in the signing, and he doesn't really prove his worth, or he hasn't recently. I mean, is that a win for Man City, or is that a loss for Man United? I mean, what?
Definitely a win for Man City, because they somehow pulled out on the deal for a reason, and we missed that. We missed that reason for some reason with our scouting department. So yeah, it's a loss on us, man. So it really is, because it's been how many 2-3 seasons with Fred? Even his first season, he struggled to adapt. So bad signs from that moment there. Now it's his third season. We're starting to still see the Fred that causing us problems. The bad first touches, sometimes the lack of discipline in his position. Even last season, it really hurt us with the red card that he got in that PSG game that everyone can see. All I can say is he really needs to step up and just try and be as consistent as he can be, because if he continue with his performances, I see Manchester United as always trying to get someone that can do a better job than him. I don't really want to see the double pivot as well, just to add to that, guys. I really want to see this 4-3-3 with a single pivot that we've been hearing about. I truly want to see that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Talk, sorry.
Yeah, comment from Errol. He's right. I mean, it's like systems as well. You're talking about systems, and we're talking about Donny Van De Beek as well. It's about systems, and you need sometimes time to adjust to the system and understand it, and it's different culture as well at the club and all that. I mean, but yeah, it's a difficult one with Fred, isn't it? To be honest with you, we don't. He could listen. The thing with this is this. There's none of us can say like 100% that if he did go to Manchester City right like tomorrow, that he wouldn't become a different player. We can't say that, because we know that's probably what would happen. He would become a different player. But you're talking about Pep Guardiola, or even Marcelo Bielsa. You know what I mean? So it's just like Dan James. Like now, Dan James has gone to Leeds, and I think that's the best environment, because that's another thing when you're a young player like that, is the environment that you're in whilst developing. And unfortunately for Dan James, I just think Man United was a wrong environment for him at this moment in time in his career. It's just too much. Some players, like I say, can handle it, some can't. So Yeah, it's a tricky one with the Fred scenario. It really is. It's a tricky one.
It is. Joe, any more on that before we finish off on tonight?
No, me, like I said, he's 28, so you better find himself quick because I'm running out of patience. I'm running out of patience. I'm fed up.
Fred, shoulders, knees, and toes.
I'm so fed up with him that honestly, look, I'm gonna be very honest. I was actually a fan of his when we signed him because I saw a few games of his at Shakhtar. I wasn't someone that watched Shakhtar a lot, but every time I saw them, he was so good, so good. And we saw a guy that was scoring from set pieces. I was thinking, okay, and you are thinking, what Solo said in the comments, or I said what Talk said just now. It's very fair. He's not being used maybe in his right sort of role in the midfield. And, maybe that's a detriment to him. Maybe only needs to find a system that works for him better. But then lies in the question, this is my issue with some of these players now. You can't be a player that just knows how to play one role in a position. You need to know how to do more than that.
Especially at Manchester United.
Yeah, especially at Man United, because we knew what Paul Scholes was good at. We knew what these certain guys were good at. And the reason why we adore John O'Shea was, yes, he was very versatile. Centre midfield, defensive midfield, centre back, right back, left back. He did it all. But the thing about him was, no matter the role you gave him in those positions, he knew how to play it. And when he struggled, he came back better. Fred needs to come back better. I can't have people telling me, oh, but he was great against Man City. We play Man City 2 times a week, 2 times a season, minimum. And then after that, it's maybe 3 or 4 times. You don't play them every week. So you cannot depend on that one game and say, yeah, that's the reason why we should keep Fred. It's the same thing I was telling people about Martial last year. Oh, Martial was so great against Man City. That's good. How many goals did he get in the whole season? How good was he throughout the whole season? He wasn't good. We can't wait for certain players to play certain games and then give them that accolade and say that's that. If Fred's not cut out for it over a whole season, let him be a squad player, and that's okay. And I think he'll be a good squad player. I'm not saying sell him, but we need better. And if he's not going to step up to the level, get out. That's it.
Get out the door. That depends on the board, I guess, as well. They're not very good at getting rid of players at Man United, are they?
No, they're not. No, they're not. Even
so,
though is it 28 million or so for or 30 million for Daniel James? That's a hell of a blinder, I must say. That's damn good. That's damn good. They did well with that one.
Leeds were always after him, weren't they? So they were like, well, look, we'll pay an extra 10 million. We're going to pay 50 million at first. Now we'll pay 10 extra million. Okay. And he's a little bit proven. He's international. So I feel that kind of helped it notch it up to 25 mil. Just the fact that he has been playing for Wales, and I think he capped like the 3rd speediest player in the Euros as well. So people look at that and go, oh, he's that fast. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's a good shot. Yeah. Guys, we'll finish it up there then. Probably just ask you quickly as well what you think the result will be against Newcastle. And when I do, ask you, shout out your social media platforms and let everybody know where they can find you. And if you are watching right now, please subscribe, share, like, do what you can. Thank you so much. Start off with Spice first. Birthday boy.
Yes, guys.
Night.
First of all, let me tell you now, my score prediction against Newcastle, I will be gobsmacked and just dumbfounded if Ronaldo's not starting when it's not a situation where he hasn't been playing, he has had a preseason. Yeah, he has been playing for Juventus. He just played for Portugal and he's going to be playing for the next 2 or 3 games. I don't know international matches. There's no excuses. So I'm expecting a 3-1 win. Ronaldo scoring on his debut, because that's what we would love to see anyway. Yeah, and then where you can find me, of course, subscribe to this channel first of all, and then go and subscribe to everyone else's channel as well, and subscribe to Red United TV. Follow the official Instagram account of Red United TV, which is Red United TV1, and also follow my personal Instagram account, which is Ivorian_Spice, same as the Twitter, guys. That's it, boy.
Spice, thank you very much, and happy birthday to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a good weekend to have your birthday, isn't it, with Ronaldo and all that.
Exactly so. And to be on this channel again, it's a good day.
Good, man. Thank you so much for coming on as well, bro. Kojo, free in midfield, which is probably what Man United want as well.
Exactly what I want.
Where can we find you, and what do you think the score will be against Newcastle in a week and a half?
I'm going to stick my neck out, say 4-0 Man United. No matter the lineup, to be honest, that's what I'm going to say. And I think we should be strong against Newcastle. If we do, invite me onto this show so I can swear at them. But other than that, so Kojo, Free Midfield podcast on YouTube and Free Midfield on all your audios, and then Instagram and TikTok for some reason. I'm on Osman Talks United as well. Great guy, great channel as well. And I'm on Never a Foul. That's like once a month doing a tactical analysis of games here and there. And yeah, pretty much anywhere you can find me. I call myself, for anyone that's kind of familiar with EastEnders, I call myself the Cat Slater of podcasts. And that's not
so
bad.
you slagging it out. He's
Slag.
a slag. Guys, if you watch this, you know what Cat Slayer was? She went around the block 3 times.
yeah, multiple times over. But yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm big up Football United TV as well. Great thing.
Kojo, can I just ask as well, the emblem on your coat there, is that a local team or?
Oh no, so I spent some time in Greece and I went to visit some people and I helped them with some football stuff as well. And as a present, they gave me like their whole training kit as a thank you. So that's the Rhodes Island in Greece.
Check them out too. Why not? Because we love grassroots football anywhere around the world as well. It makes football what it is as well. People that play from a lower league. So, mate, Kojo, thank you so much for coming on, bro, as well today, and hopefully get you on again soon.
Anytime.
Talk MU without the logo today. Where's the rise?
Yeah, what's going on?
It's on me. I'm on my phone. I ain't got my laptop, so it's not on my phone, unfortunately. Yeah, in terms of the game, the Newcastle game, then it's going to be. I think 4-0. Hat-trick for Ronaldo, 1 for Greenwood. Yeah, easy peasy. And you know where to find me on Twitter at iTalkMU. Find me on this channel, SV TV, Man United Agenda. Yeah, everywhere really.
Everywhere, even round a bonfire right now. If you see any fire and smoke,
Yeah.
he's there. He's there.
I'm choking on the smoke, mate. I'm telling you.
So thank you everybody for tuning in today, and thank you for subscribing, sharing, and liking. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. I enjoy doing this with all you lot. So Kojo, Spice, Talk MU, James. I'm going to say James. I hate saying James because your ego is Talk MU. I don't want to know your name, man. It's Talk MU to me. Okay. It's your alter ego. It's your Superman name. Thank you, everybody.
That's all you need.
Huh?
That's all you need, mate. Is rise. Reject it and say enough is enough. That's what it stands for. And that's what we need to happen. And I agree with what Spice was saying. Hit people in the pocket. Make this. Yes, this. We don't listen. We're not going too long any further. But it's an institutional problem. We need like a total reset on the laws around racism. Simple as that.
I agree 100%. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. People, please, if you're watching football and you cheer everybody in your teams, and why pick out anybody just because of ethnicity, skin color, religion, sexual preference? Doesn't matter. It's a game, physical game. That's all it needs to be. Judge them on the way they play football and say you're not playing football very well, but nothing else. And it doesn't need to go any further, does it? So yeah, I agree with you completely. I hope it changes. I'm sure it will, because the evolution of life and football itself does progress. So let's hope it continues that way. Until next week, or maybe rather tomorrow, Gunners from All Corners. Probably not a great show at the moment. Not a lot to talk about, is there, with Arsenal? I don't even know why we're doing it.
Oh, no. There's plenty. And what time's that going to be, by the way?
It'll be, I don't know. Do you know what? I haven't got a time for it because it's irrelevant.
No, when you do decide the time, just drop me a little message, because I've got a nice 55 HD TV 4K that would love some Arsenal pain. Blade on it. So please,
10 o'clock. Come on.
10 o'clock? I got time. I'll make time. That's perfect. I got you.
Oh my God.
Brilliant. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We are ending it off now. Go check out everybody's content. Please do like, share, subscribe if you can to everybody that comes on, because that's the most important thing. Is we're fans. We're trying to build content up. We're trying to show you that we have good opinions and stuff. And I think that's really important in football today. You don't want to hear just the Talk Sport opinions, the Sky Sport opinions. You want to hear real fans talking. Exactly. They don't say it as much and as well as we do. So, yeah, big up everybody that's come on. And until next week, we shall see you later. Take care, everybody.
Ciao.
Ronaldo.